So as we have covered couple of our previous videos where the scaling function, I hope you remember, is denoted as phi of t here. Now thereupon, in the previous video we have seen that the functional basis what we have obtained by translating the scaling function of the Haar wavelet is originally having amplitude level equal to 1 for the duration 0 to 1, and when we have the translation on the time axis, we get the translated versions as phi of t plus 1, phi of t minus 1, phi of t minus 2, and so on. So we have also checked that the functional basis what we have listed in this particular set here you see original scaling function phi of t, then we have phi of t plus 1, phi of t minus 1. So in both the directions we can have the various types of the translated versions of the original wavelet scaling function, especially the Haar function here. So I will call upon this set to be of the orthonormal function that we have validated in the previous video. So these are the translated versions of a single function that we have denoted at the center here. So these orthonormal functions are able to have representation of a certain type of a signal here. So for this purpose we have this accompanying illustration, whereupon on the horizontal axis you see the time intervals marked. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 here. So these are the translated versions here. Originally we have for the time duration 0 to 1 marking what is the original scaling function. Here you see phi of t here. So if the amplitude is equal to 1, so this is shown here, this is phi of t. For the same amplitude level 1, if we have for the duration, here it is 1 to 2, so it will be called as phi of t minus 1. So again for the same amplitude level 1, if we have the time duration 2 to 3, we get it represented by phi of t minus 2 here. So in this way the general representation can be phi of t minus k here. Now what you see with the solid line in this illustration, here we start at the amplitude level 3, we go to the amplitude level 4 for the next time interval, we get back downwards to the amplitude level 2 for next time interval, we go to the amplitude level 5 here, then to the amplitude level 4, then for next 2 consecutive intervals we have amplitude level equal to 3, then we have switched to the amplitude level 4 here. Please consider the symmetry. So this is what the change into the amplitude level that we have shown in this graphical illustration here. On the vertical axis we have phi of t here already represented. So you consider whatever I have overwritten here, the solid line is a certain kind of a signal that is to be represented with the help of the Haar wavelet theory, I can say here. So if you just focus on what kind of signal I have represented here, it is simply a sort of random staircase here. So let us express this random staircase type of the signal using the basis that we have defined into the previous video, which are actually the translated versions of the original Haar scaling function. So as we have already represented the functional set here that is having the translated versions and the original form of the Haar scaling function, let us denote it as capital V0, the function space here spanned by the set of bases shown into the above set here, and let us denote it mathematically as capital V0 is equal to, for the span ranging for the k as a variable here, we have phi of t minus k here. So if we have a consideration of any function in concern to this function space that we are defining, let us say the function is equal to f of t, expressed as the summation k is equal to minus infinity to infinity, or the multiplication of a suffix k with phi of t minus k. So you recall back, phi of t minus k are the translated versions of the original Haar scaling function, which are considered as bases. See, bases are completely independent and these are used for representation of any sort of signal here, and they are called as bases only when they satisfy the property of orthogonality as well as the orthonormality here. So along with phi of t minus k into the second equation of f of t that you see, there it is a suffix k. Here a suffix k in general is representing real numbers, or what you can call the scalars here. See, for this representation you will come to see that we are having a continuous time of changes into the a suffix k for generating a continuously defined new function, or what we can call as a signal. Function is of course a mathematical representation of any sort of information, what we can call as signal here. So the set of all such signals will constitute the function space capital V0 that we have defined into the first equation here. So what it was the earlier illustration on the previous slide, I get back to here it is. So the signal that is represented by the solid line I have already discussed with you people. So let us have the representation of the same signal which is having a piecewise constant type of amplitude into the unit intervals defined. So thereupon in the functional space capital V0 we are having the representation with this functional basis. So f of t will be equal to 3 times phi of t. See, phi of t is having amplitude 1 for the duration of time interval 0 to 1, but you see at the start there it is amplitude level 3, so we scale it, so 3 times phi of t, which is further added to 4 times, you check the amplitude level thereupon, so it is at the 4 times phi of t minus 1, further added by 2 times phi of t minus 2, further added to 5 times phi of t minus 3, added by 4 times phi of t minus 4. Next we add it with 3 times phi of t minus 5 plus 3 times phi of t minus 6, and finally 4 times phi of t minus 7. So we have to always remember that the set of all such signals are constituting the signal space that we can denote hereafter by capital V0 as mathematically expressed by the first equation here. Now in this concern there can be a question into your mind. The question can be whether the signals in general randomly, let us have for example the illustration, next illustration here, let us say this kind of the signal here, will that be belonging to the functional space that just now we have defined to be capital V0, which is spanned by the Haar scaling function. So you will come to see that the amplitude levels into these signals. See, in this illustration we have 2 signals here. See the time durations, we have the specific intervals as 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, where the constant amplitude originally or denoting the translated versions of the scaling function are shown here. The original scaling function phi of t at the bottom you see, next to that phi of t minus 1, phi of t minus 2, phi of t minus 3, phi of t minus 4 this way. But the functions those which have been represented as f of t or f1 of t, these are not having the piecewise constant amplitude here. See, for the case of f of t, we see there it is a linearity into the time interval here, but either it is linearly increasing or decreasing, it is not at all constant here. So next to that if you check f1 of t, it is quite random here. So as we cannot have the discretization of these signals f1 of t or f of t in general as seen in this particular illustration, we cannot have the representation of these types of the signals with the functional space defined as capital V0. So the signal into the V0 space must be a piecewise constant in each unit interval is the condition to make the use of function space capital V0 that just now we have defined here. So that is why to see this particular limitation for making the applicability of the Haar wavelet theory applicable to any kind of the signal, there it is a need of more finer Haar scaling functions. That is why the next topic we are going to address, that it will be titled finer Haar scaling functions.